get hell yeah. You love the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me get a hell yeah. I'm going to take a second to talk to you about underdogs.
Eagles fans everywhere. This is for you.
Fly Eagles, fly Eagles on the team. Touchdown, touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird game nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling on Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man soft. Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randolph. Season here, early time to do them in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.
What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Joe Castro, aka Philly Fresco, and it is another one, man. It is Philly the podcast. So today we're gonna have a conversation. You can hear my voice, man. I don't even have a voice right now. It's been a long week, crazy weekend. But today we're gonna talk a little bit about Fletcher Cox. Now, look, the title might be a little bit misleading on how I really truly feel. When I say is it time to move on from Fletcher Cox, I don't necessarily mean a trade. I don't necessarily mean he sees no snaps. But when you start looking at the numbers, you start crunching the numbers and you watch the film, you can see that there was a step loss. I feel like with Fletcher Cox, a lot of his great plays came from that extra gear. I feel like a lot of his greatness came from having that extra drive. When a play looked like it was over for most defensive tackles, it wasn't necessarily over for Fletcher Cox. We've said time and time again that, he's double teamed and that's the reason why. But when you look at the numbers, it doesn't look like his double team rates have gone up. It looks like they've gone down. So there's stuff to look at and there's stuff to be a little bit concerned about. Fletcher Cox is a GOAT. Fletcher Cox is one of, if not, he is one of, he's one of the best defensive tackles that the Philadelphia Eagles have ever had, and you can make an argument that he is the best. So I love Fletcher Cox, and it's nothing, personal against him. I don't hate you see the thumbnail. I was watching Everybody Hates Chris, and I just got the idea for that. But at the end of the day, it's a little bit worrisome. It is a little bit worrisome. We look at the numbers for Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis only getting 22 to 25 snaps a game, it's looking like. But every single week you see him at the top or close to the top when it comes to his PFF grade. Now, it depends on how you look at PFF, and that's on you. But every week you see him at the top or at least, like I said, close to the top. This week, through 6 weeks, he's number 2. He's 77.7 is his PFF grade. That's only number 2 to Brandon Graham, who's at 90%. I don't know if it's time to give him full, just take off the leash and let him go. I don't know if he's there. I don't know if he's got everything down yet. I don't know if he's fully comfortable to be a 3-down guy. And I don't know if he can physically handle that, right? That was a question coming in out of college. Could he be a 3-down guy? You look at guys like, you look at his grade, you look at Fletcher Cox's grade, his is a 58.3, just to put that in perspective, right? Put that in perspective. His pass rush grade is a 67.4. His run defense, grade is a 46.7. So it's been rough for Fletcher Cox this year. It's been tough for Fletcher Cox this year, and I don't want to sit here and say, I totally give up on him. But for $14 million, he might be better suited right now on the bench, and that's a tough blow. But there's things that we can do, right? We can do stuff with that. We can look at now at the trading deadline a little bit differently. We take this week off, we self-scout a little bit, and we look at that interior of the defensive line. Do we feel comfortable with a Milton Williams moving forward? Do we feel comfortable with a Marlon Tialapatu? Do you feel comfortable maybe pushing Brandon Graham in a little bit and maybe bringing somebody else up on the line? There's so many different things you can do, right? We're such a versatile type of defense that this isn't the end of the world. But my question is, and I'll kind of give you guys the floor because it's an open conversation. It really is. It's an open discussion I want to have about this. Is it time to kind of move on from Fletcher Cox as the starter at the very least? Is it time to give some of these young boys a little bit more run, a little bit more burn, and see what we get out of them? I want to ask that question. You guys let me know in the comments, but let's get to some of these comments. Shout out to everybody already in the chat. Drew Johnson was the first one in here. What's going on, brother? DG says JD is Goku and he's going Super Saiyan one this season. Hey, it might be a slow maturation for I can't say it. Jordan Davis. I can't speak. It might be a slow maturation for Jordan Davis. And I obviously don't know that. I'm not on the field. I don't see them every day at practice. But when you look at what's happening in the game, even though it's small increments, right? It's a small sample size that we're seeing. We're talking 20 to 25 snaps, like I said earlier. It looks like he's getting it. It looks like he's only getting better. So I don't know. Maybe at some point this year, maybe some point this season, they do just kind of take off the reins and just say go at it, and we see a little bit less of. I don't know. I really don't know. But something's got to happen because he's not been playing that well. And I do love Fletcher Cox, but he has not been playing up to snuff, and we can't lie about that, right? We got to be honest about that. We have to be real about that. What's going on, Quezzy? What's going on? Lowe says JD ain't ready yet, but by next year, that could be how they're feeling. That could be how they're feeling. DG says you must not have seen him eat the running back. He's a beast when it comes to run defense. I would love to see the pass rush rate on Jordan Davis, because that was also another knock coming out of there. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but that was also another knock on him coming out of college, was his ability to rush the passer. I feel it was kind of more so he wasn't really asked to. He didn't really have to. So we'll see. We'll see. He says, I seen it. Trust me, I jumped up when I seen that, but he needs a couple more games. Let's not rush him. Yeah, and that's a fair point too. You don't want to rush him into it. You don't want to, because a big part of this is mental too. You don't want to go in there and in your first game you're getting blown out because you're not really ready. So I definitely agree with that, and I definitely respect that. But that's a question that has to be asked over this bye week. Now you have a full week. Maybe it's time to say, hey, Jordan Davis, we're going to start giving you a little bit more reps with this first team, or, with the guys that get most of the reps, however you really want to look at it. I mean, we don't really have a first, second team. Everybody gets a lot of reps. Hargraves has struggled too, right? Let me look at the numbers, because I think Hargraves was like number 3 or 4. No, Hargraves isn't on here. But he has had a little bit more production, but he is on a 1-year deal as well. He's kind of playing for a contract, and he's younger. This is we brought Fletcher Cox back, and I feel like we're not getting the value that we need from him. But it is what it is. But we definitely got to keep an eye on that whole interior of the defensive line. And that's why I said you got to take this bye week and look at the options that are maybe out there in the NFL, whether it's a trade, whether it's an addition that you're going to get, or you look at what you have on your roster and say, maybe it's time we let some of these younger guys go, So JD starts in the 5-man front. So you're asking him to play over Cox in the front. I'm asking just for a change. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be Jordan Davis. I'm not necessarily saying it has to be that guy. I'm saying that this is something you have to look at over this bye week. This is the perfect time for you to, like I said, self-scout and look at what you have and what may be out there and make a decision from there. If they feel like he can do it, then yeah, I'm all for him taking whatever Fletcher Cox is, not playing well at. And maybe Fletcher Cox will be better suited with 20 to 30 snaps a game, right? Maybe he just is getting gassed towards the end of the games, because you saw a lot of the clips that we're seeing online are from the second half, right? And in run defense. So it could be that he's just getting tired. You think the Eagles will trade for who? What's going on, Carlos? What's going on, brother? What's going on, Winston? We exposed Parsons. We did our thing against the Cowboys. That was definitely nice. I mean, if the Saints pick stays high, hello, Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. Yeah, if they give us a top 5 pick, man, we like ruined the Saints, because we took Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for a steal, and then we got your first round pick. It's like, we are the Saints this draft class. Diggs and Parson were pit. Yeah, I still don't understand why Diggs was throwing his helmet on the ground like that. Like, bro. Dirty says, is Hurts a top 3 quarterback this year? I can't put Brady, Wilson, Lamar, Herbert, Rodgers over him right now. I agree. I mean, let me think. I would say still Mahomes, still, Josh Allen. I mean, Lamar, before the Giants game, he was going crazy. That was a really bad, really bad play at the end of the game, and I think that's going to overshadow what he's done so far this year. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to really think of 3 to 5 guys that are better than Jalen Hurts right now, or at least performing better than Jalen Hurts right now. Quezzy says he wants D-Jack back. Hey, if he wants to come as like a punt returner, that's the only way I'm really gonna have him. I need him as like a punt returner. You think Cam Akers would fit in our system? Cam Akers, yeah. I mean, to me, he's like a less athletic Miles Sanders. Maybe that's hating, but I don't think he's like that big power back. I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that, but I just don't feel like he's one of those guys that's just gonna, fall forward for 2 or 3 yards. And he's been struggling, to see him lose his spot in a offense that really doesn't even run the ball like that in LA. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They obviously having a fallout. I wouldn't be mad if he came to the Eagles. But I don't know if he's what we need. I think we need like a bruiser guy. I want to know what the heck Jordan Howard doing. What's he up to? He could come on down to Philly. 2 years ago was the time to move away from Fletcher Cox. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Paul. You're not wrong. I mean, look, you look at the 2016 team, 2017 team, and we talked about back then, we talked about them really just trying to extend that window, right? And you can't, it hurts you sometimes for the future. These past years, we've been able to kind of rebuild the future of what this team is. So I don't feel like it's as dire of a situation as it was like a year or two ago that we moved on from a lot of, older guys. But I think that it's something we got to look at, man. It's definitely something we got to look at. I wouldn't go that far. If you watch the tape, the whole defensive line is being held every game, 100% facts. And because the NFL and refs are rigging the games. I mean, there are definitely some times that I'm looking at. People are held on every single play, though. It's just what they call. But I would say this. I see some people saying, how is Milton Williams doing? How's that? Nobody's doing really that great on the interior. Like, if I'm being 100% honest, outside of Jordan Davis, if we're just looking at numbers, right? Outside of Jordan Davis, he's really the only person having an impact, or at least a big impact. Josh Sweat's doing well. Like, our edge rushers are doing well. I think our edges are doing well. Hey, we're just not getting what we need out of the defensive interior. So that's what I'm saying. We just need to take a look at that and see what we can do to improve that. You know what I'm saying? If it's getting another guy in here that can take away snaps from everybody, then you do that. If it's somebody just, moving up in the depth chart a little bit, then you do that. There's things you can definitely do. You know what I'm saying? Jordan need to do some boxing skips with the rope so he can start. Yeah, he need to definitely get that stamina up. I definitely feel you. I need to get myself a CJ Gardner. Yeah, he was born for Philly. He was talking about how he's a huge Dream Chasers fan, and obviously Meek Mill won some money off him. So, or not off him solely, but that interception was big. So he need to go ahead and send him he definitely needs to go ahead and send him a chain. You know what I'm saying? Go bless my boy. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got 31 people in here. I know this is last minute. I appreciate everybody hopping in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, join the family if you are not already a part of it. If you want a wrench, let me know, man. We give everybody wrenches out here. I might have to take them away at some point if y'all start acting up, but everybody been pretty good about it. So, if you want a wrench, holla at me. We really need a pass rusher. I really don't think we need a pass rusher, Rudy Poo. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If we get a Brian Burns, I'm cool with it. That would be something for the future. I'm definitely cool with that. That is your replacement for Brandon Graham. That is probably the future of that position for you. Josh Sweat has played well. Don't get me wrong. But if you can get somebody like Brian Burns, that's different. But I'm not, I'm not stressing over. Again, if you can get somebody and you want to grab somebody that helps you out a little bit, that's cool. Maybe it helps you bring Brandon Graham in a little bit more. We've seen him play defensive tackle sometimes, so we'll see. Cam Akers is hurt, trash. Is he hurt? I know that they had like a falling out. Are they saying he was hurt? J-Rock, what's going on? He said, bro, remember we need to keep the leadership on the team if we make it to the Super Bowl. But, bro, I want to see more Jordan Davis out there. I agree, man. I 100% agree with you. And like I said, I'm probably, I overstated it in the title. It is what it is. It's YouTube. You got it, and then I know that the thumbnail didn't help, but I was watching Everybody Hates Chris and it just came into my head. I'm not necessarily saying that, he should be cut or he's going to get traded tomorrow. I just think that maybe it's time you either look to add at the position or bring somebody up, a little bit. I don't know. This is an open discussion. This really is because I want to know. Because we're going to have Shane Half on the show Friday. I know he's really good with the numbers. He's really good with the film. So I'm excited to have him on. We're going to have Chris McPherson on tomorrow, actually, at 6 o'clock. So this is something, we'll talk about during the week, and I'm sure we'll bring up. And we got a couple more really cool interviews lined up for next week as well, and some more this week. But it's something I'm going to be talking about, and it's something that I think needs to be talked about because we are in a position that we can definitely, improve this team, whether it's special teams, like I said, or I didn't say, but whether it's special teams or like the defensive interior, like I said, you have the assets to go ahead and fix this team. I don't even want to say fix, but improve this team. So why not go and do it? Melvin Gordon looks disgruntled. I mean, I need me a bruiser. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk out my backside of on Melvin Gordon, but isn't he more of like a pass catcher? I don't know if we really need that. Roland said Jordan Howard signed with someone, forgot who. I think it was the Raiders. I could be wrong about that. I think it was the Raiders, but I don't know if he actually signed with them. I think he just actually worked out with them. What's going on, Nina? What's going on? We got a celebrity in the building. What up, Nina? She said, "Hey Joe, sorry I'm late. Was on conference calls. I'll go back and rewatch what I missed." Oh, you ain't missed much. You ain't missed much, but we love you, Nina. We love you. I want to see more of Trey Sermon. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Trey Sermon. Y'all bringing up all these running backs. The answer might be right there. I like Trey Sermon. From what I've seen so far of Trey Sermon, I like the kid. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. Rock. I was about to be like, if it's somebody I ain't seen before, you getting a wrench. But that's why you got a wrench, because you smart, dog. You smart. You know what you talk about. That's very, very true. And I won't even say less of Boston Scott because I didn't see that part. But I mean, I definitely think you should give Trey Sermon some more burn. Definitely give Trey Sermon some more burn. I'm all about that. I'm all about that. We got 36 people in here. If you guys could take a second and just hit that like button for me. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe, man. We do a lot of really cool content here. I'm going to be doing the film session right after this, like literally. So if you're a member, it's only $1. So if you want to become a member, it's only $1. Definitely join up. I'm gonna rewatch the whole film. I'm not no expert on X's and O's. I'm not gonna be drawing up plays, but we're just gonna watch it, see what we see, and I'm sure something that we're definitely gonna be talking about is Fletcher Cox. But just to kind of rewind and recap for those kind of coming in now, I see a lot of what did I miss, Joe's. But look, I want to, reiterate. I don't think, even though it kind of looks that way when you see the title and you see the kind of memed thumbnail that I made, but I don't think that we need to necessarily move on from Fletcher Cox and in the way of a trade, in the way of a cut, in the way of anything drastic like that. But I will say we have the assets to improve that position, and right now he has not been playing well. So that's what I want to know. How can we improve that? How would you improve that? That's really where I'm at right now. That's really where I'm at right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to y'all. Y'all killing it right now. Cal Bundy says he do, but he better than Cam and Jordan Howard. Yeah, facts. Jordan Howard is on the Saints practice squad, so they hold him back on us. But we can sign him. Practice squad ain't nothing but a thing. That's nothing but a call. We could definitely sign him. I do think the NFL be rigging stuff for betting. Like, did anyone see when Lane got concussed? I really didn't. Yeah, I didn't know when that happened. I had no idea when that happened. I didn't see that. And shout out to I mean, obviously, we hate Dallas and everything, but shout out to A to Z Sports. One of their writers actually reached out to me for one of his articles, and he asked me about that. And I was like, bro, honestly, I don't even know. Maybe we'll get that answer with the film today. Kevo, what's going on, brother? Kevo, what's going on? Where's mine? Hold up. I still got it. You heard me? Shout out to Kevo. Hold on. I'm sorry. The lights, man. The lights are killing it right now. But that's my logo in the middle. Shout out to my dog, bro. This is fire. Maybe it's better back here. Whatever. Yeah, I tried. But shout out to my dog, bro. Shout out to my dog. Thank you for stopping by. All right, where we at? I know I'm behind. I'm sorry I'm behind in these comments, man. What's good, bro? The question is, do you try to sign Kaiser or Bradbury in the offseason? I'm trying to sign everybody. I said it, after like a couple games, I'm bringing back James Bradbury. Unless he falls off a cliff, like a major cliff, he looks like one, he's having fun. He looks like he's enjoying this system. He looks like he fits into the system. He's still young. He's still, he's not like, 20, but he's still young. So I like I like what we have in that secondary. If anything, I'm going all in to make sure we bring that secondary back all the way down to Darius Slay. Even if you're going to draft somebody in the first round, I'm still bringing this team back. Kaiser White, I would love to have back. I would love to have him back. And TJ Edwards, I would love to have him back. I feel like he's homegrown. We so many times we like build a linebacker, not build them. Obviously they have talent and they do what they do on their own. But like you see a linebacker grown in Philly, and just we see them become great or very good, and then we just let go of them because we don't want to pay them. I don't want to see that happen with TJ Edwards. So I know that was a little drawn out, but J Rock says I'm more pissed off about Dean not getting any snaps. If he's fresh, then let him at least come in the blitz packages to rush the quarterback. Yeah, I would definitely like to see him get some burn, but you have so many options at the linebacking position. Yeah, I mean, you really do. You have so many options at that linebacker position. So it's like, it's more of a kudos to the people. You know what I mean? More kudos to the people that, are ahead of him. They're just playing very, very well. Like, I don't want to see TJ Edwards come off the field. I don't really want to see Kaiser White come off the field. Hassan Reddick plays a lot of a stand-up position. I don't want to see him come off the field. So it's like, who do you take off, right? I mean, I would love to see some Davion Taylor, see where he's at. But I mean, hey, if it's working, why stop? If it's working, why stop? Basement hit that like button. 30 people in the chat, but only 2. Oh, I only had 2 likes at that time. Look at that. Y'all wilding, bro. Well, like, how many likes we got? I'm gonna start being vain with the likes. We got 23 chats. Can we 23 likes? We got 40 people in here. Can we get that up to 30? Can we get that up to 30? Use BG at defensive tackle. I agree, Chris. I agree. I mean, like, we've seen that, and it's not obviously I'm not saying, put him at defensive tackle for, 40, 50 snaps, but 10, 15 snaps, maybe give Fletcher Cox a little bit of a breather. Maybe that's all he needs. That's all I'm saying is like self-scout and see what's going wrong, because we as fans are looking at it and we're like, oh, he's lazy. Oh, look at him, not the second effort. Look at him not getting pushed off the ball. But maybe he's tired. He's older, and I'm not trying to sit here and hate on the guy, but maybe he is. Maybe he's just getting tired. Maybe it's smart for this defense and this coordinator and these coaching staff to say, all right, let's give him a little bit of breather. We have all these extra guys. Throw Nakobe Dean out there as an extra linebacker and only rush 3 as your, down rushers. I don't know. You guys get paid to do this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Figure something out. But something has to be done at the position. We can't just come out of bye week and think that everything's going to work itself out, because we've played this. We've been here before. We've gotten the T-shirt. It's not going to just work itself out. You got to figure something out. Show Nuff, what's going on, brother? He says definitely needs safety depth. Yeah. Wallace, Kayvon Wallace is very disappointing, man. Look, I talked to some of these people, so I'm not going to say trash and stuff, but he's been very disappointing, man. It's been very upsetting, very, very upsetting. And it's sad because he's only coming in for a couple of snaps. So you would hope at least kind of show out for those couple of snaps, do your thing. But it has not gone well. It is what it is. I mean, you want to see him do better. You definitely want to see him do better. I found a breakdown of the D line on the Football Scout. Haven't watched it, but watched it yet. Done good work before. Shoot that over to me. Shoot that over to me. You got me on Twitter or anything? Shoot that over to me. I want to see that. Burns will be the future. then we could go to a NASCAR package with all defensive ends on passing downs. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to go and get somebody like a Burns because he's a younger dude, like if you're gonna go get like an older, productive guy, that's like, oh, going all in for the Super Bowl. We need to look at both avenues. We need to look at both avenues now and the future. That's how I realistically feel about it. Akers tore his Achilles last year, but I mean, yeah, maybe that's why they're cutting down on his time. I don't know. I don't really think Cam is the answer for us, anyways. Let me catch up a little bit. What's good, True Savage? What's going on, Eagles realist? Need a punter? Yeah, punt returner. I agree. Kenny Gainwell is an L blocker. Yeah, Kenny G got to get better when it comes to pass protection. But he is what he is. He is what he is at the end of the day. B Mo, what's going on? What's going on? Excuse me. Milton Williams has been better than Fletch, but I say Fletch more Davis, less Fletch more Davis. I could see that. I could definitely see that. What's going on, Rylan? So what's good, Joe, man? We really could have dropped 40 points on Dallas. I'm excited for Christmas, man. Hey, we scored the most points that Dallas has given up thus far. They're not gonna acknowledge that, but we can. What happened to Kennedy Brooks? That's a very, very good question. I don't know if he's still on our practice squad. I definitely want Bradbury back and CG. Yeah, I didn't even think Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's a free agent as well. Yeah, we definitely need him back. I'm bringing everybody from this defense back. Everybody could come back. Everybody could come back. Come on home. Talk to Darius Slay. Talk to whoever you need to and get some extra money in there and figure it out. I don't know how you're going to do it, but do it. Milton Williams hasn't been better than Cox. He hasn't taken the next step. Cox has been bad, had one bad rap, and we're tripping. Cox has 3.5 sacks this year. He had 3 sacks against Carson Wentz, if I'm not mistaken, or 2 sacks, I believe, against Carson Wentz. Look, I'm not saying that he's trash. I'm not saying I hate him, but it's definitely something to be concerned about. It's definitely something to be concerned about. Bradbury, Epps, and White let Sanders go. Miles Sanders, yeah, I mean, running back, unfortunately, is kind of dime a dozen. 2017, we should have kept Blunt. I don't necessarily believe that. I think that you can't just, like, there are some teams, like, don't get me wrong, right? That, like, look at the Rams, right? The Rams were able to sell everything and sell the farm. They got a bunch of veterans and they won one year, and now look at them. They're not the same team. Like, I don't like to bet on vets, like, especially when that's like, you have to, I don't even want to say it like that. You have to have a good balance between veterans and a youth movement that you're, kind of developing and moving along the way for money and for, team wise. Like, I just feel like that's what works better. Where are we at? Jose Serrano says last year our front line D got burned out throughout the season compared to this year, so altering throughout season helped our older defensive linemen. Yeah, also and we've always been that team that likes to kind of, interchange our team, interchange our defensive line. And maybe it's time to kind of rework that balance a little bit, right? Rework how we're looking at the snap count. So I mean, that's all I'm looking at. Wallace is trash. We need to replace him. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we would do. I don't know who we would put there, but Josiah Scott, maybe. I know he was getting some time when some guys got hurt. CJ Gray says the Fletcher Cox slander is crazy, bro. I mean, it's not slander. I think it's more so just being realistic about the situation right now that he's in. Like, he's got to get better. There's no, there's no sugarcoating it. He has not played up to the standard that we want him to. I think that's fair to say. Oh, snap. So my job is given away. Quick little announcement. They just texted me. I don't know if I can say this on here. I'm going to say it. Y'all my people. Y'all my people. So y'all know I work for a company called Fanfield. It's co-founded by Michael Vick. It's kind of like a NBA Top Shot type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where they do NFTs around the athletes, and we have a bunch of different athletes already. But they're giving away 5 mystery boxes and $50 to each winner. So if you want to go over to the Discord, go to their Twitter, follow them at Fanfield Sports, and then join their Discord and just follow the rules or whatever. But that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. That's like almost like $500 they're giving away right there. That's pretty dope. And join that Discord because they're gonna start giving away like free jerseys for just like liking posts and stuff. Like it's crazy. They're gonna start giving away a bunch of stuff. We just gave away a Michael Vick jersey. So like they're giving away a lot of cool stuff. So definitely go join that Discord, man. Join my Discord while you at it. Join everybody's Discord. If Miles takes a friendly deal, I'll keep him when healthy and giving us significant snaps. Miles can run against anybody. No defense seems to lock him down. No, you're right. He is very good. He is very good. But it's like I feel like a lot has to do with our offensive line too. Like, so I mean, and maybe that's being a little bit, unfair to him. Maybe that's being a little unfair to him. Call the Patriots about Jabril Peppers as a third safety and special teams guy. He's a kick returner, punt returner too. I wouldn't be mad at that. So look, I know I usually go about an hour, but like I said, I am about to do the film session about the game against the Cowboys. So I'm gonna hop off here and I'm probably gonna go live for the members only at 2:00. I'm thinking. It's only $1. If you want to join, you can. If you don't want to, I totally understand. You guys, I'm going to start posting like clips of it afterwards so you guys can catch it then if you want. But I appreciate everybody that tuned in, man, that, just chopped it up with me and gave your opinion, man. If you're watching this on the way back, drop your opinion in the comments and we'll start a new conversation. And like I said, we're going to have a lot of interviews coming up soon. So definitely stay locked if you are new. Lock in, hit that like, hit that subscribe. But I love you guys. But other than that, y'all know what it is, man. It is Fly Eagles Fly. And we are out here. Peace.
Everywhere. This is for you.
Fly Eagles flying on the team. Touchdown. Time to get Jalen this ring. You don't really want to start a thing. This a bird gang nation, baby. It's a Philly thing. Hater, and you looking like you type trash. I'm just here calling with Philly the podcast. And we can call a man dog or watch Miles score off the handoff. Rest of the division, your man saw Jackson like Sean, hunting like Randall. Season here, early time to do him in. Your boy Philly Fresco. Thanks for tuning in.